Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating collection of ideas from issue 76 of the weekly NishIsHere newsletter. And what's cool is how they're all tied together by this one powerful theme, redemption.
Okay, let's just start with this thought right here, which really sets the stage. It gets you thinking, right? The incredible power of a second chance and how it can literally change the world for all of us.
So that brings us to our first big idea, the anatomy of a comeback. We're going to break down what a comeback really looks like, starting with a story you probably know, and then we'll see how those same lessons can actually help us redeem our own happiness.
I mean, what a story, right? The newsletter points to RDJ's journey, and it's just incredible. He went from a literal jail cell, battling all his demons right there in the public eye, and came out the other side not just as the face of the Marvel Universe, but as a genuine role model. It's the ultimate redemption arc. And this is where it gets really interesting. The newsletter pivots from this huge public story to something way more personal. It asks, can we apply that same idea of a comeback to our own happiness? Can we pull ourselves out of a rut or a feeling of being stuck?
Well, according to author Mo Gaddad, who's featured in the newsletter, it all comes down to how you measure things. This slide just nails it. Are you living in the gap, always looking at how far you still have to go? Or are you focused on the gain, looking back and appreciating how far you've already come? It's such a simple shift in perspective, but it changes everything.
So here's the big takeaway from that. Happiness isn't some finish line you cross one day. It's a practice. It's about the small, conscious choices you make every single day to just appreciate the journey you're on, not just fixating on the destination.
Now, this idea of making conscious choices leads us right into our next theme, the two sides of creation. It's this idea that the same human drive to build and innovate, well, it can lead to amazing good, or it can lead to some truly dark places. It's a choice between a redemptive path and a destructive one.
So on one hand, you've got this awesome, heartwarming story from the newsletter. A family working together, turning an old school bus into a dream home for someone. I mean, that's creativity being used for pure joy.
But then, the newsletter immediately flips the script. It shows us the dark side. That exact same creative impulse, when it's twisted, can build something that lives entirely in the shadows, a true nightmare, born from innovation.
And the scale of this dark side is just staggering. The Silk Road was a $1.2 billion illegal enterprise. It's a terrifying example of just how powerful innovation can be when it's pointed in the wrong direction.
And the story behind it is just wild. The newsletter gets into the shocking double life of Ross Ulbricht, a brilliant physics student who became this criminal mastermind. He used all his skills to build an anonymous online empire. It's a huge cautionary tale for our digital world, and really, it's the anti-redemption story. All that talent used not for a comeback, but for a total downfall.
This idea of building these huge systems with really uncertain outcomes, it brings us to a topic that, let's be honest, affects every single one of us, our financial future. The newsletter starts to question if the systems we all trust for retirement are as solid as we hope. And maybe our faith in them needs its own kind of redemption.
So here's the question the newsletter puts out there, and it's one that a lot of people are asking themselves. Are our retirement accounts actually a safe bet? Or are we all just taking a massive gamble with our future?
And get this, the most revealing part of the whole thing isn't some chart or a bunch of numbers. It's the nervous laughter of the financial experts themselves. That hesitation when they're asked the tough questions, it just says so much about the uncertainty baked into the whole system. Okay, so we've talked about comebacks, the light and dark of creation, and our own financial futures. What's the common thread here? How do we even begin to make the right choices when everything feels so uncertain?
The newsletter leaves us with this really powerful idea from Mark Manson. Our choices are basically a form of self-respect. Having a strong filter, it isn't about blocking out the world. No, it's about being conscious and deliberate about what and who you let into your life.
So as we've seen, all these themes, redemption, creation, happiness, they play out in huge public ways and in small personal ones, which really just leave us with one final question to think about. In your own life, what will you filter for?
If you enjoyed this deep dive, you can get more awesome curated insights just like these delivered right to you. Just subscribe to Nishat Shahryar's free weekly newsletter. You can find it at NishIsHere.com.